Usually, the only stories we hear about successful people are about their success, their awards, their fame, and wealth. Interestingly, we rarely hear about how they started out. While most young people try to get a stable job and get married to settle, successful people focus on things differently than most people and avoid certain things that can negatively affect who they are today. Hey everybody, welcome to Life Mastery Hack. Today we're going over 7 things successful people don't do in their 20s. Before we get into the actual video, make sure to hit subscribe for more videos like this. Now let's get straight into it. Number 1. They aren't afraid of taking risks. Success is also characterized by taking risks. There are times when taking risks is necessary in order to reach your goals. The fear of failing prevents most of us from taking these risks. Yet the biggest risk for successful people is not taking any risks at all. The risk takers have a strong belief that they can achieve and deserve more in life, and that this feeling of dissatisfaction is what motivates them to take risks. There is nothing fulfilling about settling for a life worth less than the one you could have lived. Don't settle and be willing to take risks in your 20s. Being that you are not a parent yet, you don't have a lot of responsibilities towards your family. When you do become a parent, your responsibilities expand dramatically. As a parent, you can't just take risks for yourself, but also for your family. It's best to be brave and take risks while you can. For the life that you've always wanted, you have to go beyond your comfort zone. Number 2. Successful people don't waste time during their 20s. While you're in your 20s, you seem to have endless amounts of time. As a result, this feeling extends into laziness and the perception that you may continue to put off important tasks for years because you think there is plenty of time. It is surprising what people do to waste time. One of the things they do is watch TV shows they don't even care for. One can spend hours playing video games for no apparent reason. They often explain that they don't have anything else to do. Other people just let time pass, while successful people are using this time to their advantage in their 20s. Suddenly, you find yourself turning 30 and you've been in the same boat as most of your friends from the past just because they're all like you. Despite that, there is always someone who was way ahead of you, and it makes you jealous how they got that way. Within the blink of an eye, this individual has created a successful business and is traveling the world. All the while, you're spending your time doing the same old things. Using this time to change the course of your life will be one of the best decisions you could ever make, so don't let this opportunity pass you by. Number 3. They don't worry about finding their perfect match. Your relationship is not your identity. You're beyond that. Despite the fact that most people spend their 20s worrying about finding true love or achieving their parents' expectations of getting married by a certain age, that time should be spent exploring the world and learning about others, especially about oneself. There is nothing like finding a partner that shares your dreams and that helps you reach your goals, but don't let the lack of such a relationship discourage you from achieving your dreams. It's an interesting concept that has been marketed by cultures around the world. Bonding with the billions of people on this planet is like connecting with a soul that was born for you. It sounds ridiculous that you are even supposed to find one. Real relationships take time to develop. Along with the early chemistry, as time proceeds, you continue building your relationship through conquering challenges together, working towards goals together, and supporting each other both mentally and physically. This is how true love can be built. Relationships are born and grow over time. People who have been in a relationship or marriage for a long time know that love changes over time. True love can only grow and develop over time. Number 4. They don't just wish. Everyone hopes to succeed, but few people know how to attain a level of great success. They instead just wish for this to happen one day. It will never be enough to hope and wish to be where you want to be. If you start a business just wishing to be successful, you can never build a successful business. It is a significantly different experience to wish to be successful and to expect to succeed. Just by wishing for success, we are simply stating that we don't know if we can make it happen. A large part of our work ethic is dictated by our attitude. In order to be successful, we must believe deep down that no matter how difficult the journey may be, we will reach our goals and take actual action. It is understandable that most people hope for great things from themselves or to succeed in some way. Their thinking patterns are shaped by the stage of their lives which led to where they are now. You can still expect greatness from yourself even if you aren't where you'd like to be. No matter what resources and finances you lack, you can still build and start a successful business if you expect and work for it. You need to stop thinking something miraculous will happen someday, because it won't, not without an actual plan. Despite all your misfortunes, you need to know that you can get where you want to be. Start believing you can. Number 5. They do not put the blame on others. Success is the result of taking full responsibility for your life from the start. They don't blame others or the situation for failure, not like the majority who blame themselves when things don't go well. Successful people don't usually say things like, "It wasn't my fault, that was their fault," "I would have made it," or "I would have succeeded without their actions." Rather, they ask themselves how to work through to improve the situation. Their failure can be attributed entirely to their fault, and they take full responsibility. When they learn from their mistakes, they would think that they learned another way not to do something for the future, and they would get right back to fixing the problem no matter how difficult it may be. They will do whatever it takes in order to ensure that the bad situation is no longer an issue. Number 6. They don't believe that education alone can lead to success. You probably know how we feel about traditional education since you've been around a while. It is of course better to have an education than no education, but let's expand upon the idea. We can say that certain types of education are more successful today than others. In the context of life, it is recommended that you look at the big picture. Rather than bet on where things are now, we prefer to predict where things will be in the future. Isn't it incredible that there are still people studying Latin today when educating yourself is your own responsibility? No degree can give you that. Until recently, you couldn't get a good job that paid well without some useless paper. Now, that's changed. It is now possible to learn any skill by yourself. If you want to, you can learn even more than the best lawyers in the world, because what really matters is not the paper. Your efforts and values in the market will be rewarded at the end. Number 7. They don't allow others to decide what their future will be. Whenever you turn a certain age, everyone you know is going to try to give you advice about what they feel they know. It might be a very kind act. Despite that, if their advice had been good, they would be happier and more successful today. There is no need to follow their old roadmap to achieve your goals, since there is no proof. It is necessary to go against the current if you expect to be successful. You may shock your parents. Your friends may think you're insane. Some might even make fun of your idea. That's just how people are. People think it's impossible just because they don't think that they could do it. They are scared of you succeeding because they will see how incapable they are when you actually get there. It's a hard thing to accept. Ultimately, everyone must make their own choices. They chose theirs. You can make your own decision right now. Choosing the right decision can open the gate for a whole new world, but it's up to you. By putting all your energy and effort into it until it opens up fully, it'll be exactly what you were looking for or even beyond that. Listen carefully and be aware of what your inner voice is telling you, no matter how loud the world seems. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching until the end. If you found it helpful in any way, make sure to like and hit the subscribe button. Now check out this video of 11 things successful people do in their 20s, and I'll see you guys in the next one.